Good morning, everyone. Hope you are having an amazing day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you please type the number 1 in the comments section or in that chat box to let me know that you can, I would greatly appreciate it. And as you do, keep in mind that everything we look at is for educational purposes. Nothing's meant to be advice or recommendations. And folks, if you like what you're seeing here, make sure you follow along the various social platforms that we've got out there. There's a ton of great content coming out day in and day out. You do not want to miss out on it. All right, today's agenda, we've got upcoming economic reports. We're going to look at futures. We're going to take a look at previous day's trades, then today's candidates, and then your stocks. So with that, let's go look at the economic reports. Let me see, is there anything important coming out today? I don't know. Maybe something that's got a little bit of importance to it, and that's going to be the Fed, right? The Fed rates. So 8:15 this morning was ADP's non-farm employment, right? Changed. Not a big deal. Didn't really do much. FOMC comes out today between 2 and 2:30. 2:30 is the press conference. 2 o'clock is the rate and the statement. There's still a fairly high propensity of a 0.75% hike. There's a 0.5% baked in as well, but it's very small. And I don't think there was very much, if anything, any longer. There was a little bit of 1% a week or two ago, but I don't think there's anything left for 1%. I think we're looking at 0.75 point, and then next time around, we're looking at a 0.5, is my thought come December. All right, so there's our economic reports. With that, let's go take a look at the futures. All righty then. Woo, it's another sea of red, baby. It is. So the ES is down 4.25, which is flat. The Dow is down 64. The NASDAQ's down 2 whole points. Excuse me, 2 whole points. The RUT's down 3. Bitcoin's down 60, but it's still above 20,000. Ethereum is down 26. It got under 1,600 again. Gold's up about 10 points to 1659, 60, we'll call it. And then crude cranking it back up yesterday, baby, to 88.5. It was 88.53 was the number for crude oil. So if we just take a quick look, I just saw something. The national average was $3.77 per gallon. All right, we are below that, but that's only because New York State has cut back on its tax. Otherwise, we would be well above that number. All right, so you can see we were up there the other day. We got to about $89, almost $90. We pulled back. Same thing there last night. We got to about $89 and pulled back on prices. Right, so but still overall upward of pennies, 11 cents. But gas prices ain't going anywhere, baby. I don't see it happening. I hope they do, but not sure. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at yesterday's candidates. Now, yesterday was a day that I was out of the office, so I did not get a whole lot of opportunity to trade a lot. I did do some covered calls on some positions that I have right now. It was just more management of those positions. I'm a big fan, guys, of the American Airlines, the Delta Airlines. There's so much premium in some of those guys and some of those candidates. So DAL, as an example, if you like Delta Airlines, and today they're down 12 cents, right? And they had a nice run up and a pullback, which is always helpful as we're trying to trade it. Right now, if I was looking at a naked put on it, I'd be looking for a delta of about 20. I don't have a 20. I have a 17. I have a 24. I'll go with the 17. You can pick up 15 cents on that naked put, right? You need about $3, $6, $7, $7, $8, let's call it, to do this trade, to take in 15 cents. And that's only for 2.5 or 3 days, I guess, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? And if you get put the stock, you look at a 40 delta, you're going to rent it out for 46 cents a week, right? Actually, you're going to rent it out for more than that because we have more than that. It's less than a week of time in there. You're probably looking at about 50 cents a week. So you can rent this $35 stock out for about $2 a month, right? And, if you do this for 3 or 4 months, you're taking $6, $8 off of the cost of your stock from that if you are exercised and do have to own it, right? And I don't see airlines going anywhere at this point. People are just crazed with getting on planes. I'm not sure how many of you have flown lately. But if you have, then that planes are packed, right? There's very few seats left on them at all. There's a flight we're taking in November this month. First class sold out already and we're 2 weeks away from one of the legs. So, and it's sold out already. So, all right. If there are trades that you did yesterday, drop them in. I'll go through them as we go through this morning here. And with that, let's go take a look at today's candidates. So I have a watch list built out for today's positions, and the very first one is Airbnb. And I think everybody, for the most part, is earnings today. I did catch one at the very end that's not on my list. If we have time, we'll take a look at that also. But Airbnb, they're down $7 on their earnings. Whatever the announcement was, you could read all the details. I don't care about the details. They're down $7. That's what I care about. They're down $7. Is there a way we can take advantage of it? With them sitting at 33.5 right now, nope, that's not them. That is, I don't know why it didn't shift over. That was Delta. I'm looking, I clicked on it to bring it in on my option chain, and it did not change. So 102.18 is where they're at. So about 102. So we got 103.74. We need a 100-point level in here. So let's go and add that in first. All right, let's change this over to 100. Let's change this over to a dark red. Last one on my list, and then the dash dot. Click OK. All right. So now, if we're sitting at 102, we're above that 103.74. We're going to look at a bear call spread above 112. All right. I like it. Karen said, fuel I heard was an issue later this month. Diesel is definitely an issue right now. With just us getting our hands on it, it's going to become an issue. So you're absolutely right there, Karen. Russia just struck some kind of grain deal. So I don't know where Russia's coming with Ukraine. I don't know where Russia's coming back in, and they're going to supply or not supply. What happens with Europe, I think that'll play into it. AMD is next on our list. They were earnings. AMD right now is up $3.65. And we were just chugging and chugging and chugging in these dreaded boxes of neutrality, right? These sideways moves that we had made in there. I mean, very tight boxes. We were just, again, it's almost like just hanging out and waiting for the earnings to come out. They're out. They're at 63.25 right now, so it puts them right up in here. We're going to look at a bull put spread below 61. I like that setup a lot. All right. Sean says, very true. The U.S. usually has a rolling 35 to 40-day supply of diesel at any given time. We currently have less than 25. Yep. And Sean knows his truck uses diesel. Don and Chris, Don said SPY and SPX both closed at a profit. Ka-ching. Great job there, Don and Chris. Fantastic. I love it. I love it. CZR is next on the docket. So let's get a bigger picture, please. All right. CZR was earnings. Right now, they are up $3.30. Nice. Come on. There we go. They're up 330 to 47.5, we'll call it. So let's see if we need fib. It's 46 to 51, 52 is $6. Yes, we need fibbits on both sides. We're going to split that in half. So I need to put in a negative 136. I also need a 118. All righty then. So now we're sitting at 47.69 right below there. So we're going to look at a bull put spread below 46. INTU. Earnings, they're up $9.25. They're at $407 right now, $404. The ask is $407. So very whack move on this stock. Right? Good fib there. We didn't violate the 618. We're okay. It's getting a little bit old, but it's not bad. But we had this nice bearish move going. It took 2.5, 3 weeks to get back up there, and then one fell swoop. We take this big crush to the downside, and now what? Now today we come out with earnings. We're back up $10. We're at 404. So it still puts us up here at this point. I'm not real excited about this pattern. We're below our 415.58, which is the 8 moving average. I'm going to write next. I'm just not excited about it. Let's pass on that one. MDLZ, also earnings candidate or pattern setup announcement, 64.54. They're up 267. So they're above that 63.57 level, but not by a whole lot. 63. So we're going to look at a bull put spread below 63, and we're going to do it aggressive. I'll do less contracts on it just to have the opportunity to take a trade on it, but I'm not going to do a full amount of contracts in case it goes against me. It's a little too tight. There's only 2 candidates left, folks. So dropping the candidates you want me to take a look at for today. I'm excited for the day, but what is it that you're looking at? What are the trades you want me to, the charts you want me to check out for you? Right, then there's MTCH. So MTCH also earnings there up $6.77. It puts them at 50.5-ish. So, oy vey, what a move down, huh? 50.5 puts them just shy of that fib line, but it takes them, puts them just shy of this fib line, but it takes it above the 21. It already was above the 8, takes it above the 21. So we're okay for a bull put spread now in a neutral bias. We're going to look at that bull put spread below 45. All right, so it puts us somewhere down below that fib line. And then Para is last. Para also had earnings come out. They are $17.54 stock. They're down $1.63. So again, 17.5. Let's see, 21 to 24, $4. Yeah, we need to split. Let's add these lines in. They don't affect our trade right now, but let's get this chart compliant before we go moving on. And at some point in the future, we need to start adding this and we forget about it. So we've got that there. Now, 17 to 19.5 is 2.5 for $1.72. We need to put a -5 in here also. And you can see how well it's respected that line. Even without it there, watch. As soon as I drop it in, boom. Right there, over and over and over again. So we're sitting at, on Para, 17.5. Right? Options are decent. They're not big spreads, 10, 15, 20 cent spreads, 198 by 203. Right? Not bad whatsoever. Decent open interest, 67 delta, 1,400. I'm looking at calls with 1,475. Right? So overall, not too shabby, even on puts, which you would expect bigger anyway with the move it's made. All right, 78 delta, 1,800. Right? Open interest. So overall, plenty of good focus on that option chain. Well, at 17.5, we get down below that 1830 level. We are looking at 50-cent increments here. So there's 18.5, 17.5, 19.5 strikes. So we're going to look at this as a bear call spread below, above 18.5. Right, so we'd use the 1850s. So can we get anything on them as of yesterday on the bear calls? We would have got 18.5. And you could look at the 19s if you want, 18.5, 19, or you jump a strike and go 18.5, 19.5, which is probably what I would do. Unless, I mean, if I can get this premium today, yeah, I'm all over it. I'm all over it. We're $1.50 out of the way. So if we just use 18.5, was $1.33. 20 would be 60. So we're probably looking at 25 cents for the 18.5, 19.5 is what I'm guessing. All right. If I can get 18.5, 19.5 and pick up a quarter for a $1 risk, I'm all about it. All right. So I like that one a lot. All right. What do we got here for time? You guys drop in the candidates you want me to take a look at. We've got a few more minutes yet. So let me go ahead and look at D-Dog. Right. DDOG. Right. They got a downgrade today. I don't know who it was. I caught it at the end and did not bother going back to look at it. As far as who it was, I just added it to the list. And if you like big movers, I've got a 100-point mover for you today. We're not going to analyze them, but I'm going to give them to you and tell you what's going on. So D-Dog has a downgrade. They are now at 78.75, so 8,200. We need to put Fibbits in here. So let's go add the -136 and the 118. -136. We'll add the 118. Perfect. Let's scrunch that down a little bit and see where we are. So 78, let's call it $79 where we're at right now. So we can look at a bear call spread above 82. Okay, on D-Dog. Now, a news story hit the wires today. And let me go ahead on this and let's change this chart over and add the pre and post-market data. Right? So on TradeStation, we just format the symbol. If it lets us do it, come on. Woo! All right. Go to use custom settings. I already have them set for pre and post. All right. So we'll open that one up. Now, it's not D-Dog, but it's ROG. Right? Rogers Corp. There was a buyout offer from DuPont that DuPont rescinded today. Now, they do not have weekly options on them, but they're down $97 today. 16 days out. Okay? No open interest, no volume. Well, there wouldn't be any volume, right? For this month, next month. So there's nothing out there on these options yet. So you can see there is some open interest on the put side. Good, bad, or indifferent. It is one that is going to have some movement today. So if you are a stock trader, you know, if we look, I don't know how much more I can zoom in on this, right? If I get rid of that first bar, if we look at just today, you know, we've moved just today from 140 down to 130-ish, right? About a $10 move. So, and I'm not saying that this is a good one to trade, a bad one to trade. I'm just telling you there's news out on it, right? So might be one you want to take a look at. And then the other side of it is DuPont, DD. DD right now is up $3.55 on that news. So go ahead and check those out. Add them to your list. See if there's anything you can do with them at all, right? I'll be looking at the ROG to see if there's a place to grab some shares somewhere with that kind of move, if we can capitalize on an overreaction, right? For the day only, just today. I'm probably not trading options with the no open interest on them whatsoever. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at your candidates. The very first one comes in from Trip. He said, I would have asked about a bull put spread on AMD, but what about a bear call spread on IBM above 140? Sure. Let's go look at Itty Bitty Machine, IBM, or I've been moved, right? Let's see where they are in the pre-market, IBM. So they're down 35 cents, 137.85. I'll call it 138. So they're about where they are right now, Trip. Nothing crazy in there. We've got a great bullish thrusting pattern. Nothing to redraw the fibs off of yet, but we definitely will need a new fib. Hopefully we can get a pullback down to at least that 135 level to be able to create one first. So I do like the pattern. I'm all for the bear call spread if we get that rollover somewhere above that 139, 140 level. And IBM does have $1 increments. So if we look at the 140 and we go and sell that option, and then we look at the 141 and we go to buy that option. So naturally, if you just take it at what they're offered at right now, that's 19 cents. The midpoint is 27 cents. So I'd probably be going for a quarter on this. 25 cents on this spread gives you a 33.33% rate of return. Probably not the worst thing you could do for a day or three. Especially when they were talking on CNBC this morning that they hope to see the market return back to 7% a year. 7% a year, I pack it up and I go away. It's not worth my time at 7% a year for what we do. All right, so I hope that helps, Trip. Let me know down below. Say Hey is asking for the SPY with a retest and a bounce. So let's go do SPY first. So Say Hey, they are right now down 65 cents. So the 384.39. See a 5. A little bit too big. Too far out. So 384.39. Yeah, so Say Hey, I like what's happening around that level, right? Let me see if we zoom in on it and unscrunch. Okay. So we had a big move down there to that yesterday. We came out the 618. Great reversal. Good start at the potential H pattern. One standard deviation move already exactly the way we like to see it, right? But now we've got the 55 is very close. The 8 is a little further away than I like, but there's still some support there from it. So if we can get a bounce today, yes. Would I take the bearish trade on this? Not, and you weren't asking that, but would I take a bearish trade on this? The answer is no, unless it's a pivot point trade and we're trading pivot to pivot and we're getting slippage and we're moving into one of those pivot levels. Other than that, not interested whatsoever. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with pivot points, and there's 100 different ways of looking at pivots from different brokerage firms have them and so forth, right? So each one of these lines, the solid lines, become a support and resistance level. These were yesterday's. Today's will change. But each one of these solid lines are support and resistance. The dotted lines are midpoints and can be used for scaling out. So you did have some opportunities yesterday as you broke down below this R1 level, that 388-ish level. We made it. We pushed down through that, and you broke the pivot, retested, pushed down to the next one, right? So there were some opportunities, but we were a little bit tight on pivots yesterday on SPY and on Qs, right? A little bit tight inside of this range here from my liking, all right? So I definitely like it. Say, hey, if we can get a little bit of a bounce in the market. Say, hey, is also asking for Goldman Sachs. It's one of our power option plays candidates. Earnings is not an issue for them right now. I got them listed as a bullish bias with a day trade for today is what I'll be looking at. It is a rank of a 2 for the new power option plays ranking system, which I will be teaching on the 9th, I think it is, of November. We're going to be getting into all of that, how rankings work and all that good stuff. So right now we're at 348.5 is yesterday's close anyway. Goldman Sachs in pre-market is down 70 cents. So say, hey, it's in a true bullish bias, but you've got a clear and concise entry down to 339.5. So if it fails, that's what I'm looking for, targeting above that by about $2. So about 339.44, 341.5. If it breaks out, retest at 349 and bounces, we're looking at about 356.5 as resistance on the top. And for those of you that are in power option plays, make sure you use the new pop day trading rules for the midpoint for our exits. All right, I do have a training coming out, guys, on tomorrow. It starts tomorrow. This is the first one. If you go over to tradinglikeaboss.com, it's how not to get your ass kicked. I'm going to show you exactly what to do to no longer get your ass kicked in this market. I'm going to divulge to you some secrets of how we go about and look at the market, and I'm going to take the amount of time you're spending now and probably cut 25% for sure, if not 50% of the time off of it, just by teaching you these one little sets of tweaks that we do, right? So you'll pick that stuff up in this class. Tomorrow's class is 8 p.m., and we have 2 of them next week as well. Sean dropped the link in there. Yeah, you're welcome. Say, hey, I can't wait for the rankings either. I'm excited for it. Say, hey, Trip said, love seeing my AMD on market mornings. I know, Trip, me too. It's great company, right? A lot of opportunity on it without paying crazy prices for options, right? So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Make it a profitable day. Stay focused on the quest of becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, get registered for how not to get your ass kicked. And I will see all of you at our next update. Take care, folks. See you then. Bye for now.